everywhere, and it's shaping the way we see ourselves, each other, and the world. And most of the time, don't even notice it. Whether you're 18 or 80, ageism impacts you. Stick around, because by the end of this episode, I'm giving you 3 real ways you can personally confront and break ageism down starting today.
Turn it up, gang time.
Real homies.
Real homies.
Real homies wanna know.
Real homies wanna know.
Real homies wanna know.
Real homies wanna know. What's up, homie? Welcome back to another episode of Real Homies Wanna Know. If you're new here, my name is Christina, creator of Gero-what, your go-to spot for all things aging. Today, we are breaking down barriers, and one of those is ageism. So let's get to it. Let's start with what ageism is. It's basically discrimination, prejudice, or stereotypes towards a person or group of people on the basis of age. Now stick with me, because that definition might not have been clear to you, but don't worry, it's gonna get clearer as we move forward, alright? And here's the thing. We often hear ageism in conversations when talking about older adults, but it's not just older adults who are experiencing ageist treatment. It's people of all ages. So think of the entire lifespan from childhood all the way into elderhood. At some point in time, you have experienced ageism or will experience ageism. So ageism is not always in your face. Sometimes it's subtle and internal, meaning it's really based off of how we see ourselves and the things we say to ourselves, that internal dialogue going on, and how we're talking about ourselves as we're getting older, and the actions that we direct to ourselves as we're getting older. So we might shy away from participating in certain activities because we feel like we're too old, or from different people of different ages because we feel like we're too young. And so a lot of times it's starting right here in our mind, the way we think, the way we see things, and the way we act about it. I also want to drop in some ageist things that we might say, like 70 is the new 20, or forever young, or girl, you haven't aged a bit. Look at, oh, girl, you look good for your age. Oh, skin tight, looking right. All of those, although they might sound like compliments and empowering, they are all ageist and can be very harmful. Because when our bodies start going through certain changes and we no longer feel the things that we once said or people said to us, then what? All right? So I want us to keep that in mind as well. Other times it's blatant, like when an older person gets passed over for a job because of their age, or when younger people are labeled as entitled, or assuming that older people can't learn new technology. So that is ageism in a nutshell. And the United Nations has declared that ageism is a global issue. It's everywhere, all right? And there's a huge push to stop these damaging practices because they really do have a negative impact on our aging experience. Now, if internal ageism is up in here, external is all the ish around us. Society and the media makes us feel like aging is this big scary thing that we should all avoid. People start dreading their birthdays or hiding their age. It's real. The constant pressure to stay young can really mess with our self-esteem. And before you know it, you're out here questioning your worth, all because of a number. Now let's pause for a moment. Let's own our age. So for me, I'm 36. Let me know in the comment with no shame. Say it loud and proud. Your age. Now, this is what we experience from our family members, our co-workers, when we get on social media and we start scrolling and we see all these harmful jokes or things related to aging. That is external ageism. So let's get into some real world examples. All right. Let's first start with the workplace. All right. Because that's where we spend a lot of our time anyway. So in the workplace, older adults are often overlooked for promotions and other job opportunities. And a lot of times the reason is really because higher ups feel like they might be past their prime. You know, we're looking for someone who can bring fresh ideas to the table or in the know of the different trends that are going on right now, as if older people can't be in the know of the latest trends or bring fresh ideas to the table. And on the flip side of that, younger people are often looked at as not having enough experience. So shut up. You don't know what you're talking about, right? You sit here and you learn from us. Or oftentimes they may be dismissed and just completely ignored when they do have ideas or suggestions. That's how it looks in the workplace. And I'll also add that the communication that goes on can be a little challenging. From different slang or just ways to communicate, we might find that in the workplace, these different generations are being ageist towards each other because of their own assumptions and biases related to younger or older people. So much goes on in the workplace as it relates to ageism and also other isms too. Hey, if you're still watching this video, we are basically homies and you need to make sure you have hit subscribe and the notification bell to be notified when I drop new content. Alright, go ahead and do that. Now, the second example is healthcare. A lot of times, older patients and their concerns are brushed off as, oh, that's just a part of aging, or, that's what happens when you get older. And healthcare professionals will not look further into the issue. The same goes for younger people. Well, you're too young to be having that problem. Wait until you're older to worry about that. No, I want to worry about it right now, so educate me. Help me. So that shows up in healthcare. Now, let me just say that you'll find that some healthcare professionals are really all about shedding light on the reality of aging. And sometimes the reality can be harsh, right? Now, there are things that we can do within our reality. There are some adaptations we can make and some changes that could come about as well. Now, this last example is all about the media and ads. Oftentimes, older people are portrayed as weak or all about decline, or there are these black and white images of older people looking sad or on the floor or holding their hand like, oh, bless your heart, you older person. And it's like, y'all, older people be out here wilding out like anybody else, okay? Having a good time, learning new things, or just chilling on the couch. That is the reality. But it's not always portrayed as such in the media, or we don't always see light shed on older adults and their romantic relationships, older adults engaging in sexual activities, older adults having a new boo. Like, come on, do you think all of these desires stop at a certain age? We also see a lot of ads related to anti-aging products, which is, I hate it. Cause listen, just say that the product can help with blah, blah, blah. Don't try to get me and say it's anti-aging, cause let me just stop here and say there's no such thing as a product being anti-aging. Meaning there's no such thing as this product stopping you from going through the aging process. And anti-aging is basically one of those things that say we're against people getting older, even though the reality is you gonna keep getting older, okay? And if you don't keep getting older, then it means you die. So let's also be mindful of that. I do not like to give my money to products that say anti-aging. I don't care what they do. It's anti-aging, and I am pro-aging, and I encourage you to be the same, because whether we want it to be happening or not, it is. And so we might as well work on ways that we can change our perspective on aging to be something that is going to enhance our aging experience and not take away from it. Alright? So those are the three examples where we can really see what external ageism looks like. And of course, in those types of environments, our internal ageist thoughts are also fueled in all of that as well. So however we see ourselves aging is going to influence how we interact with the external world, with our friends, with our family, with our coworkers, how we serve others. So let's be mindful of all of that. Alright? So now here's the bonus of how we challenge ageism. And I want to share 3 ways. The first thing is get educated. A lot of the assumptions and stereotypes that we have as it relates to older or younger people is related to misinformation and lack of education. One of the things we really need to do is learn what the aging process really is. And I encourage you to go back and watch some of my previous Real Homies Wanna Know episodes. So far, I've talked about skin, I've talked about hair, I've talked about bones and muscles, and there's more episodes to come. But learning about the aging process, the reality of it, how often we think that it means decline, decline, decline. But nah, it means growth, growth, and change. Yeah, I like that. That's what aging is. And when we educate ourselves on these things, then that makes us more likely to not give in to the ageist ish out here. Alright? So get educated. And let me be your educator. Next is check your biases. We all got them. Question yourself like, am I being ageist? Oh, shoot. I done said something that might have been offensive to this person about older people or younger people. Like, really challenging your thoughts and what it is that you're saying. What am I communicating to people when I say this, this, and that? Okay. I got a Real Homies Wanna Know video about unconscious bias that you might want to check out too. Okay. And then lastly, speak up. Call people out. Listen, I don't always like calling people out. I just told someone the other day that I might make it look easy when I disagree with things or I call certain things out. But when I tell you, I absolutely do not like it. It really makes me uncomfortable. So I'm not saying force yourself to be uncomfortable when it comes to ageism, but speak up, especially when you see that it might be having an impact on your well-being or the well-being of other people that you might care for. Advocate. Use your voice. So if you hear someone making an ageist comment, something as simple as, that was ageist, or look at you being ageist right now, could really help. And call that person out to then make them aware of what they just said that may not have been appropriate or could have been very harmful and offensive. So the 3 ways are to get educated, check your biases, and speak up. Simple things that can make a huge impact as we break ageism down, as we beat that thing to the ground. Those are 3 simple things that we can do. Now, let me just say, the biggest thing I want you to get from this is that awareness is key. We have all been ageist. I've been ageist. Probably today I might have said or thought something that was ageist. There's really no way around being ageist, but there is a way of being aware of when we are being ageist and fixing it. Whether I said something ageist, thought something ageist about myself, or my actions were ageist, when I am aware of it, that is what makes the world of difference. So if you don't get anything else out of this video, the biggest thing I want you to make sure that you're doing is being aware of when you're being ageist towards yourself and to others. Now, this is Ageism Awareness Day, October 9th. You may or may not be watching this video on that actual day, but any day is the perfect day to start challenging the way we think about aging. So whether it's calling out stereotypes, pushing for better representation, or supporting policies that protect individuals from age-based discrimination. We all have a role to play when it comes to confronting ageism. So let me know, what is one thing you can do today to start combating ageism in your life? Drop your ideas in the comments and let's keep this conversation going. For real, alright? That's all I got for you today. I'm going to see you back here next Wednesday where we're going to be talking about health literacy. So I'll see you next week. In the meantime, in between time, you be blessed. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Turn it up, game time.